Hello, this is Trevor. Today we're working on another DOM lab in Portswigger's Web Security Academy. This time we're clobbering DOM attributes to bypass HTML filters. So the lab uses HTML janitor library. It's vulnerable to DOM clobbering. We need to call the print function. And we may need to use the exploit server to auto-execute. And we can't use Firefox, so no worries. All right, let's take a look. So again, this is one that I didn't solve on my own. I had to get some help, but I want to talk about the lab a little bit first before we look at the solution. So let's see, it is, I believe, in the comments. So view page source. Yeah, right here. So we have HTML janitor. I'm going to open that, and I have load comments with janitor, with HTML janitor. So let's take a look at the second one first. This is the load comments with HTML janitor. When I was looking through this, I noticed that I thought this would be our exploit, right? This line would be where we would exploit it by creating something contents and then, or comments, and then using one of those to have an avatar. Once I figured out that, I tried to figure out what elements I could use, and that's all right here. So here's the available tags. We have input, form, the I, B, and P. Input allows the attributes name, type, and value. Form allows ID. We need ID, to get clobbering to work, right? Well, I went through a bunch of iterations to try to get this to work, and it just did not. And that's because this isn't the exploit part, right? Where is it? So it's in here. What I want to look for is down here, get allowed adders. And the reason I wasn't able to exploit it here is because I couldn't get the right combination of element and attribute to build up to get the comment.avatar to contain anything malicious. Maybe there's another way. I just wasn't able to figure that out. So if we looked over here at should reject adders, we get allowed adders right here, right? Let's search for that. Allowed adders. And we get allowers this config no name no. So get allowed adders. Let's go to that. Here. Type function. No. There's somewhere, and I'm not able to find it right now, unfortunately, but there's somewhere where we can override. It may be. Let's look at the solution now. Okay, where are we? Yeah, here. Want home. And it's actually no, here. It's kind of tricky how they did it. So we're gonna copy this and the second one out. I'll put it in Kate. Okay, so on this first one, we use the form IDX tab index on focus. So here's our exploit, right? The interesting thing is, how are we able to put these attributes when they're not in the allow list? And that's because of this input with the ID of attributes. If we go back to here, I'm going to control search attributes. Maybe it's here. Attributes. There it is. Sanitize attributes. This is in HTML janitor. That's correct. So we are overriding attributes in the field so that anytime it calls for the attributes, it's not going to, it's going to be empty. Since it's empty, there's going to be nothing to remove. And let's show that by going to view post, and we'll make this comment, right? So, but I'm going to change it to console.log just so we don't solve it. Console.log 1. All right. Let's do Bob at b.com. No website. Back to blog. All right. This won't do anything yet, so if I inspect and go to console, we won't see that. We do have this input. So there's our form on focus. We don't see even the attribute, though, which is interesting. Did I do this wrong? Continue. Nope, I did it right. Let's go to here, and we'll go to £X. Look at that. Pretty awesome. The attributes allowed these to be run, and it doesn't show, so we can't even prove it, unfortunately. Let me just search for post IV. Nope. Attributes is not anywhere there. But that's what we clobbered. All right. I think it's a little tricky. Not a whole lot to discuss anymore. We overrode clobbered rather the attributes, so there was nothing to remove. That let this payload go through fine, and then we just needed to focus on that payload. So we visit this page, set the onload. We need to set the onload because if you look at how this page gets built, let me take this off. It does it in 2 requests. Dang it. Use bird proxy. The first request gets the HTML and most of the content. The second request gets the... so here's the HTML, most of the content. This second request gets the comments. And so we have to do the set timeout to make sure the comments get loaded and put on the page first before we try to access it. All right, well, let's build the script. We're going to call this one DOM clobbering attributes to bypass HTML filters. Vim DOM clobbering attributes to bypass HTML filters.py. Let's grab our template. And we need to submit a comment. So blog.post comment. Post. We'll need a post ID and comment. I think commenter's right. We'll double check that. Let me close the template and go here to blog. Post comment, comment. Yep. So once we do this, we need to post our payload. We want, well, post our exploit, I guess. Blog dot, that's in the site. What is this? Post exploit. Post exploit. And it is the response. Not that one. Response body. And then once we do that, we need to do blog.is solved. We probably should wait a second. So import time.sleep 1 and then is solved. Okay. So we need post ID equals, let's not do the one that we commented on 4. So we'll do 5. And then we'll do payload equals this. And then we'll build the exploit equals, they both has singles and doubles. Right here, I need blog.base URL f this that. Okay, that should work. And then sleep and then solved. So I think that's it. Python DOM clobbering. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is going to solve it, but we can talk, just review. What? Oh, did I have console and not print? Dang it. Let's change to 6 with print. I should have removed the 1, but it should solve it anyway. So the tricky thing with this, what the heck? Form IDX, source pound X. Oh, it's because this. Post ID. R7. The line's too long. I don't want to go through and fix that. So, anyway. The tricky thing about this lab was that it had, there we go, we got the lab solved. It had something, boom, that looked to be, or at least to me, what fooled me was this line, right? And maybe that's just because I'm not very good at DOM clobbering, but I thought that this was the line. And so I put all my efforts trying to exploit this and didn't even think about how I could, and I should have, because in the directions it says HTML janitor is vulnerable to DOM clobbering. And if I had just, thought about it, maybe I could have figured out how to clobber this part, which was, open the door to attributes that were vulnerable to XSS. Anyway, good tricky lab. Makes you think, and I like that. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Goodbye.